With Halloween right around the corner, we thought it would be really fun to make some DIY eyeball EOS with slime inside.
But there's no slime in this one. It's not an eyeball yet.
Because they haven't been made into eyeballs.
This is not just super cool and unique, this is also a great prank. If you're new to our channel, I'm Annelise.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Julia. We're twins.
And I'm their older sister.
If you like what you see, remember to hit that subscribe button.
Click the thumbs up.
And turn on notifications to become part of our CG family. Now on to the video.
So we have these all over the place. And one day we were looking at them like, this would actually make a really cool eyeball. And how fun would it be full of slime so when you open it,
you have slime
oozing out.
Let's get started.
Before you start, clean out your EOS really well. Open your EOS and paint each side with white paint.
We're using acrylic, but other types of paint may work just as well. Don't worry about the streaks. This would take several coats, depending on the color of your EOS.
Paint both halves and then let them dry completely before adding another coat. We gave ours 3 coats.
Now for the iris. Find a bottle cap and center it on the top. Using your cap as a guide, draw a circle. Perfect! You can fill in the iris with a marker or with paint. We just felt painting it would be harder. It's starting to look like an eyeball.
If your iris looks too streaky, you can use a Q-tip with a tiny bit of rubbing alcohol to even it out. Just be careful since it can remove the marker as well. Now we'll use a Q-tip dipped in black paint to make our pupil.
Look at that, it looks so cool. Once the paint is dry, we'll give it a coat of Mod Podge. This isn't required, but it will keep the paint from chipping. And it also adds a nice shine. Go over all the white first and leave the iris for last, because some marker ink may bleed when you go over it with the Mod Podge.
We found that Sharpies and washable markers bled, but dry erase marker did not. And don't worry, your Mod Podge will dry completely clear.
Our Mod Podge is dry, so now it's time for the fun part, our slime. You're just gonna take some and push it down into the grates so that it fills the bottom. Yes, you can pop the whole thing open and put it in, but we find popping it open more difficult. And it's actually kind of fun to push it in. And once you have it all in there, you can just go ahead and take the top and close it up. And nobody will ever know that, well, they're not actually gonna get lip balm. And watch how cool this is. It looks just like an eyeball, and when you pull it, you get a whole bunch of little strings. So after painting all our EOSs white, we found one of these, and this is a vanilla bean EOS, and we're like, well, you could probably just use these instead of painting them white. It's not gonna look as white as an eyeball, but it's still white. And it would be a lot easier, because that's really the hardest part of this DIY. So if you can find a vanilla bean one, do it. So these are what they look like. I think they're so cute. And the best part is, whenever your friend forgets their lip balm and you're like, hey, you want one? Can I use yours? And you're like, oh yeah, here. They're like, oh, that's really cool. Seriously. And the cool thing about these EOSs, like when you don't need lip balm and you're just bored, you have a tiny bit of slime that you can play with and just do stuff with.
They look kind of like jellyfish like this.
We're so beautiful. And it's great for waxing. Oh! By the way, this would also be really fun painted in glow-in-the-dark paint. We hope you enjoyed this video. It was so much fun to make, and I literally think that these are a blast. So if you did, please give it a thumbs up. We love you guys. Mwah! Bye!